Double
Double
life.
life. Hey, that was a dope.
You can spit.
Yeah, dope video right there. And without further ado, we would like to bring the fabulous Lyric Jones to the stage.
Fabulous.
Hey,
What's happening?
what's poppin'?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, double life.
Poppin'. There's a squad over there. I feel
Stupid
lonely.
Squad. Stupid squad.
Don't
You
feel
got the
lonely.
homie
You're a part
working
of it
over
tonight.
here. He holding
Myself.
it down. I see him. I want to get right into it. The double life represents everybody I know.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Hierarchy, lowarchy, whatever it's called. We working double. People have triple, quadruple, whatever it's called. We all working. So as that artist, that's working the double life. How did you, this was easy for you, making this song? You on your break, scribbling notes, scribbling rhymes. So this is easy, right?
Yeah, it's just, no, it's not, actually.
Just the song, I'm sorry. Just the song, making the song, was this kind of easy for you?
Yeah, it kind of came at a time. I was about to go on tour, my first tour last summer. I went out with Cali Agents.
Okay.
And I was just thinking about how I'm going to be right back in this, a month from now, right back in my cubicle. So I was just thinking about just situations like today. Like, I was just at work today. You know what I mean? Like, people don't know, like, at night I'm on stage, or I got interviews, or I'm talking to Sway in the morning or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was a moment of being frustrated, but then also trying to inspire myself. Sometimes we as artists, we forget that music can be therapeutic for us as well.
Absolutely.
Not just the fans, but sometimes we got to purge as well.
Yeah.
So it was, I was just writing rhymes, just trying to be all lyrical, miracle, spiritual.
Right, of course.
Then I was like, nah, let me just tell the story. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Sometimes everything doesn't have to be so technical. You just gotta just talk, just rap.
Break it down a little bit.
Exactly.
It's an honor to have you.
Thank you. It's an honor to
We
be
get the
here.
email my man Dane put together, a nice ass email, so we get it and we get to spend time with you before you get here. So
real
it's an honor to
journalism.
meet you. Absolutely.
Salute.
Hey, so talking about kind of piggyback off you talking about this music being able to touch everybody.
Right.
Who would you say your music is really speaking to?
Definitely, I always like to call myself an artist. I find that a lot of my fans are creative people that are other artists, musicians, rappers, dancers, because of how I come across and what I speak about is relatable to more so that. And obviously women as well, young women. But the irony is I have a lot of fans that are dudes. So, but I feel like it's of course across the board, but I find that it's always other creative people that are trying to do their thing as well. So I like that whole, there got to be, who are we fans of as artists as well? Like, we got to have somebody that we're looking up to, that we're inspired by, an artist. So.
Hey, Lyric Jones, the name, very, very interesting, and got the lyrics to back it up.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, a lot of responsibility. So, like, how'd that come about right there?
It's a two-part story. It kind of broke obviously in two, but Lyric was a little nickname that I was given like when I was 9. I used to go with my dad to these community choir rehearsals around Boston. I'm from Boston originally.
Shout out to the Patriots. Let's go! I've been waiting.
A-Town.
Silver and Black, we coming back for you this season, baby.
Oh God.
Let's get it.
So it wouldn't be a lot of kids around. It would just be me and one of my homegirls. We would just be running around rehearsal. We were young, and we just both found out that we love music. And I would always come up with the lyrics, and she would always come up with like the melodies and the harmonies. So she just started calling me Lyric. That was like age 9. And then the other half came, I want to say, when I was 14, when I ran into my mentor, my big brother, Radar Ellis. Shouts out to Radar.
Shout out.
Who I just kind of ran up on him one time at Berklee College of Music. Was like, hey, I rap too. I saw him perform somewhere, and I, was telling him about, what I do. And he was just like, all right, what you call yourself? I'm like, Lyric.
Bing.
Like, that's it? Just Lyric? I was like, we got to put something else with that. So he gave me Jones just because he saw that affinity that I had for words, putting rhymes together, wordplay, lyrics, obviously. And then I kind of learned what having a Jones for something means, and it kind of worked. It was just a perfect marriage. So the abridged version of that story is that's how it is. It's the Lyric first, and then the Jones came later. So
Lyric or Jones is nowhere on that birth certificate.
not at all.
It's just inside.
It's just, I've been called Lyric
It's
since
DNA.
9, and then the Jones is just
Mr. Jones.
Jones.
We know
I
it's
get
the
I get
Jones.
called Jonesy all the time, and this is literally my name. So
Absolutely.
So how'd you end up in LA, like all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, and unfortunately in Patriots town?
what?
Patriots?
So you bring your guests to slander their team?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
how disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Like, you
You
should
don't do
leave.
that.
I should leave.
I got a lot of
leave.
beef still with
But-
everybody who was a New England Patriot fan all the way back from 2002.
Well, you might want to wait till
2002.
I get off the mic.
Right.
But nevertheless,
well,
you know what I'm
You don't
saying?
want to ruin your interview, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
How'd you get out here though? How'd you get all the way? That's like cross country, bi-coastal.
I didn't come straight from Boston. I went to college in Georgia, so I did like a little triangle
We love Georgia.
situation. So I went from Boston, graduated from high school. After I was kind of joint enrolled at Berklee College of Music, I decided not to go there for like undergrad. I wanted to try journalism out. Don't know why I went to school for that, but I moved to Georgia, and that's honestly like where I became Lyric Jones for real in Atlanta. And then I moved out here. I just felt like it. There's no long sob story or I was chasing this or that. I literally
wanted to.
just God said to move, and I just did it.
That's what's up.
I packed my shit up, and
How long were you in the journalism class?
it was 4 years,
It
four
did-
and a half years.
Did it help any when it comes to you working on the records? How does that contribute?
None.
None.
No, it makes me very anal about dealing with blogs and journalists, though. Like, I'm very,
Because you already know the game.
yeah, I'm like, let's see how well you doing your research.
Right.
Like, I'm, because I went to school for this, so
You
let's
have to
see.
learn,
Yeah. So it's kind of like I wish I wasn't so educated on that, but I kind of went to school at a time where social media was becoming prevalent and very dominating in the world of journalism. So I kind of was in that weird generation where the stuff we were learning doesn't matter anymore for the most part. Even CNN and such is getting their information from tweets.
Yeah, real
And
spit.
Twitter was just
Rolling
getting
down
popping.
at the-
Right. So we weren't learning what Twitter and Instagram and vlogs and all that terminology. We didn't know what that was in school. And then as soon as I graduated, all the other kids, they got the new stuff, the new journalism equipment and the computers and, So, I mean, school is overall a great experience because, you don't ever want to regret anything. I met a lot of people, and that's obviously, the music was secondhand as well. Like, while I was in college, I was double lifing again.
Double life.
But as far as, like, the stuff, textbook shit from school, I don't remember any of that shit.
I ask that all the time. Like, what's the best thing you took away from college? And nobody gives me anything academic, nothing.
It's nothing
Ever,
academic.
ever.
It was always just experiences and life
It's
lessons.
always
Yeah.
experiences,
That's all it is.
homies,
Real spit.
Yeah.
drugs.
I mean, you you have those one or two classes you remember, like from
Yeah.
your freshman year. Like, those were impressionable moments, like your freshman year on a campus. Like, I remember a couple teachers and stuff, but I didn't take nothing away that I remember now
Got it.
that's helping anything right now. So college is another story. Go to school, I guess.
College dropout, keep it.
Yeah, I had to finish. My dad paid too much money out. We both
story.
did.
And don't disappoint your parents.
Yeah.
Now,
Loans is
Lyric,
crazy.
you are a Gemini,
I am.
which means you kind of crazy a little bit. But on the positive side,
Y'all just slandering your guests now.
I am not.
No, joking.
I'm over
on
here
the positive side, Geminis historically have been known to, if you
Tupac.
check it,
And some of
be
the
best
greatest
rappers.
artists are
Absolutely.
Geminis.
See?
Tupac is Gemini.
So what role?
Clean
does
that
your-
up.
Prince is a
Nah,
Gemini.
I wasn't gonna clean it up. I'm just gonna continue telling the
Kanye is a
truth.
Gemini. Kendrick's a Gemini.
But now, what role does your sign play in your music in particular? How do you convey that into your music, or how does it help you as a creator or artist?
Question. I never really thought, more so not necessarily the writing aspect, but just the whole being an artist aspect of it. I can kind of touch on that. We're very hot and cold with making decisions, but when we make that decision, we know
made.
exactly where we want to go with it. It's very hard to, like, feedback and things of that nature is difficult when we find it. Like, when you find that, like, this is it, or I'm doing this show, this is it, this is who I want on it, it's very hard to waver from that. Like, we're very strong-minded on what the creative process is. So the getting to the actual thing, if that makes any sense, is always the difficult part. But when it happens, it's always smooth sailing from there, because I already got my mind made up. So that happens with shows, with the concepts, all that. We're very well, from my experience with Gemini's, like, conceptual people. So you can see with my projects, my videos, everything, it's like storylines, concepts that are, even from our artwork, everything is, a common denominator there. It's like a theme, you know what I mean? So.
And speaking of, oh, my bad.
No, you good.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of decisions, shows, you got one coming up.
I do.
So can you tell us a little bit about, what the fan can expect from that, and what you ultimately plan on just conveying as far as being an artist, and what you plan on giving them?
Yeah, so the show that I have coming up is on my birthday eve. My birthday is on Friday, June 10th.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. And the show is on June 9th at the Mint. And this is my annual Jones Experience show that I do.
Okay.
And I started it in Atlanta, 2010. So this is kind of like 6 years moving from city to city and keeping it going. And it's kind of real special to kind of look back like, wow, I'm still doing this show. Like, I'm still doing this event.
Support's still coming.
Yeah, I mean.
You got VIP passes for the squad, or?
I don't.
Oh,
Oh my God.
This is a show about support. I gotta,
that means go online and buy your ticket,
exactly.
right?
Like,
No more.
you know what I mean? I have no guest list. I'm giving the whole list to the people that are performing, because I can't really break bread like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about, like I said, an artist. That's kind of like literally my common theme there. And I just got tired of hearing no from festivals and all types of shit. Like,
Playing the game.
I'm gonna do my own shit. I'm gonna do my own show. Let me school you on how to do a dope lineup, because obviously you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you're doing.
So it started off with me having a little chip on my shoulder, like, about being told no a lot, and I just wanted to kind of do my own thing. And I just found that I have a real knack for putting together shows, bands, incredible lineups, and building those relationships to where people really want to rock on the show, because nobody has to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very proud of this one coming up, because it's on my birthday. First time I'm doing one on my birthday. This one is Razzcast, Rod Digger, Javante, a vocalist who worked with TDE a lot from LA. Apollo Jane, incredible vocalist. She sings on The Voice. She sang with John Legend, so she's awesome. And then I have special guests who are going to be on my set, and Chief Wakil. I have Rogue Venom, who's another incredible woman who rhymes. She's great.
Okay.
Yeah, she's ill. And Sean Rosati, an MC from Boston, who I met when I did my other Jones Experience in Boston. So he kind of came up and rapped on my cipher. I do a cipher every time I do it.
So you did GA, you did back in Boston, and here. That's so.
Yeah,
far?
I did a couple in Boston. It would be kind of like just one-offs. Like, I'm back home, I want to do a show. And the last one I did was, I want to say, a year and a half ago. So, the last one I did in Boston. So this one is just me repeating the one I did last October. That was the first Jones Experience I did here, and it was almost to capacity. So I'm really, proud of that, and
It
just want to
like
kind of keep it going.
intimate image of it, like, is it real kind of like just performer, artist, that audience passion back and forth?
Yeah, last year was very surprising, because everybody there was having a great time. Like, there was nobody sitting down. A lot of times at shows, like, there's a lot of people kind of standing around, observing, and they want to be on stage. Like,
get the numbers.
Exactly.
yeah, there was a lot of fans there of music. And then my shouts out to DJ Malski, who's gonna be DJing with me again this year. I did like a little intermission, and he had the whole place dancing, like, and it was on a Tuesday. Going up on a Tuesday. So I was looking out at the crowd like, this is so much fun. Like, I had fun. And so this year I'm just excited, because it's going to be my birthday. I want to get lit and do it again. And you know what I'm saying?
Gotta do it.
So, I mean, I'm just very happy, obviously, to have I flew Rod Digger out here, have Razzcast on there. They're legends. You know what I'm saying? And Planet Asia was on there last year. Affion Crockett came through last year.
Hilarious.
So it's just incredible to kind of, sometimes we're down on ourselves, and then we think back well, we take a step back, I'm sorry, and look at like who's supporting you, like they
Let
don't
me
have
ask
to
you
do that
this.
shit.
Right.
I saw, and I'm hot that I'm not in New York, or I wasn't in New York, but we all saw Kanye shut down New York at 2 o'clock in the morning. With you being, having the love, having the ability to put together these great shows, how do you, when you see some shit like that, how do you feel? What does that make you want to do? Like, how did you react when you saw that?
Very inspiring. I mean, I thought it was a little irresponsible, kind of, just the woman in me. Like, I'm still a girl. Like, and we, the woman in me was like, it's a little irresponsible. You got niggas stamping on people's cars and whatever. But the passion, nobody can take away the passion Kanye has for his fans and artists. Like, he wants to always get back to his fans. I can relate to that. You know, I can relate to that aspect of just being all about the art and all about the fans and wanting to have an incredible moment. So, yeah, I definitely get butterflies when I see those situations when I'm backstage.
Unforgettable.
When I'm backstage a lot of times and I see my peers doing their thing and I look out the crowd and see people knowing word for word for word like that. That's inspiring. So absolutely, I can definitely foresee a moment of that.
I know it just connected once you said it. Just brought that Kanye.
2 in the morning. He's like, man, forget this water, forget this rain. We're gonna still do something. That's definitely.
In the Maybach sitting on with the Yeezys on.
Lyric, I read that you're inspired by Jill Scott and Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Which personally to me, I feel like you're a mixture of both. But on the flip side, Lauryn and Jill come from a different generation of music. You know what I mean? It takes a certain kind of person to be able to appreciate Lauryn and Jill.
For sure.
Now we're in a totally different generation of music. You already know what's playing on the radio and what everybody's listening to. Now, how do you feel like you fit into what's going on in the now?
You almost kind of answered that because this generation is completely on something else. It's very easy to kind of stick out and be a breath of fresh air, so to speak.
How do you feel like you're going to be able to reach the audience that's listening to something completely different than your sound?
To be honest, if I had that answer, I'd be on.
Right.
But all I can do is continue doing what I'm doing now.
Double live.
Yeah, being at platforms like this, RMC, doing things like Sway or whatever. Like, all I can do is continue to push, and obviously, and then I think it's also important for artists to appreciate and recognize the platform as well.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when people bring you onto your shows or does interviews with you for magazines, for blogs or whatever, you got to stay in contact and connect with them because they're the ones planting the seeds to your career from the beginning stages.
Right.
And I just feel like that. I feel like that's so overlooked by a lot of artists, especially independent artists that are just like, yo, play my song, yo, I'm trying to submit my music or whatever. And then that's it. They don't maintain those relationships. And then y'all are people too. Y'all are fans too. Y'all listen to music as well, and y'all have these platforms. So if you get, media or whatever, on, just I think a likability factor is important as well. If people don't fuck with you, they don't like you, then it's hard to. I've dropped off as far as being fans of a lot of people just because I just wasn't feeling their attitude or their vibe. I just won't.
With the sound.
I won't press play anymore in my iTunes. It'll fuck with you. So
why not
that's all I can do, sweetheart. Is just keep being me and
absolutely,
and keep
as you should be
touching all these chitlin circuit moments, as they say. And never know.
Legacy.
There you go.
All right. Well, before we let you go, please feel free to let everybody know where they can go and learn about all things Lyric Jones. Where they can go look at the videos, like I say, stay in touch about the music, find out all the information you need to find out about the events and anything else you just like to share before we let you go.
Yeah, the easiest way, this is how it should be for everybody, but the easiest way is my website, and that's thelyricjones.com. It has all my links and little things there. But if you're just privy to one thing, my Twitter is @LyricJones, my Instagram's @LyricJones, my SoundCloud is @Lyric-Jones. That's where all my music's at. So, and then the videos is on my website as well. I have one playlist for all my music videos. You can just press play and look at all of them.
Before you go, when is that next project coming out?
I just dropped one in September, so no time soon. I'm still trying to push the one that people aren't pressing play on now. So
I'm gonna go
I hate like, you know, kind of smothering what I've already done if it hasn't reached the legs that
Say
it
that
it can.
again.
You know what I mean? So I don't think
Don't
I don't think
pollute.
Gems from the Cubicle has reached what it could reach. So I'm still just pushing that. It's not even a year old. So yeah.
Play this all night. Fuck it.
All right, well, we're going to take it to a quick break. Big shouts out to Lyric Jones for joining us. Met this young lady at an event, and just on the presentation alone, I said we gotta have this young lady come
Dope.
by and stop by
Definitely
and
in the
chop
room.
it up with the squad. So we appreciate her for coming out.
Hey, dang.
Squad.
Come P voted, by the way, y'all.
Yeah.
You see the sticker? Come P voted.
I hope he voted.
We're gonna go to a break and we'll be right back at you.
I hope he
Peace.
voted.
Get.